we can't praise white people for not being racist because you can't praise me for not being a murderer.
I've never experienced racism from a white person, like, proper in my life. Because growing up in Tower Hamlets, bruv, like, white people are the minority.
As a black man on television, you will get DMs on Twitter from people that are unhappy that you're a black presenter on television. I think as a black male as well, you won't have it as bad as women in the main, basically.
Yeah.
They're not able to express their emotions without being judged for it. And I just say to myself, if this was a black person, they'll say that she's being aggressive, over emotional. Yeah. And I think it's really highlighted, which is a big, big problem in the UK, lack of education. Yo, I'm in the building again.
Back again,
Bro. I can't lie to you, I'm going to start off straight away. You know me, when something's hurting, I'm going to complain, bro. Yeah. My shoulder is burning, bro. I was playing football. This is it, yeah. We're getting older, innit? So I'm playing football and there's some 16-year-olds. They've got trials to be thinking of. Me, yeah. I've got a family to be thinking of. And I just got in a 50-50, but I landed funny on my shoulder.
Oh, shit.
And I knew when you know this one's gonna hurt in the morning.
Bro, but you know you got work in the morning. These men ain't got work.
They ain't got work, fam.
So they can risk it all.
And
I don't know.
They're healing quickly like Wolverine, bro.
Come on. Exactly.
They're healing there and then.
That used to be you.
That used to be me, bro. It's crazy when you can see it happening. And Antoinette, bro, she's not trying to hear it, fam. She's like, every single week, something is happening.
Who sent you, bro? Who sent you?
So, yeah, bro, I'm just, my shoulder's burning. But to be fair, it will take a minute to get better. But, bro, it's crazy, bro. The body's different now.
Yeah, definitely the body's different. Like, man will go to sleep, like, fine. And wake up in the morning, my back's hurting, or something in my ankle, or I'm like, what's happened? What's sleep? This man's not moving. Man's paying. What am I doing? Martial arts in the sleep or what?
It's crazy.
So yeah. It's mad. As you get older, these things happen. But yeah, but at least you're still doing the football, right? It's still.
I'm trying,
active.
man. I'm trying. It's like, it's funny because a lot of my friends are doing running. You know, run clubs is a thing now. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm so bad at stuff like this. Like, I'm seeing their running times. I'm like an hour, like twofold. Just running with no like direction, nothing that you're chasing for an hour. And then also an hour out of the day as well. It's like, bro, I don't know, man. But I make time for ball in it, so there's no excuses in it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I guess with football, it's nice because we've always had a love for football from young, innit? Like you can't really call me to come kick ball and I'm going to say no in it. Do you know what I mean? So it's a good time to get that fitness in there.
No, definitely. It's a great time to get the fitness in and it's good. Obviously, I know like we're podcasts, business and stuff like that and so forth. But I feel like it'd be mad for us not to mention, I know it's a while ago, but like, what are your thoughts about the riots and stuff like that? And this UK, like, do you feel like it's getting better? Do you feel like it's going to change? Because I remember, like, I thought to myself, should I say anything? Should I leave it? Then I thought to myself, I remember saying, if I was in slavery time, I wouldn't have it. Like, do you know what I mean? I'll be a Black Panther or I'll be up against all this. So when things happen, you feel like, man can't stay silent. Man has to say something. But at the same time, it's like, there's a part of me that's like, I know it's a small minority. Like, man hang with people from other races every single day, especially white people. Yeah. Like, white people give me opportunities every single day. White people show me love every single day. White people open doors for me every single day. Yeah. So part of me feels like, does man even need to come and justify, like, because it's just a small amount of people that are doing this. They don't represent all of them. So do we even need to say anything? But then there's other part of you, like, if you don't say anything, are you being complicit or like, how do you strike a balance? Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. There's so many things that I've observed going on recently, and I'll speak on a few of them. I think that one of them is that I would like to say that there hasn't been much change. This has always existed, innit? I think before I go into that, I'll go on your point as well, first of all, and say that white British are the majority in this country, naturally. I'm around white British a lot, went to school, work, whatever you do, you'll be around white British. And my experiences in the main, absolutely fine, good even. It's the few, but the few were really, really bad. But what I mean by the few that are really, really bad, that hasn't changed. Yeah. And one thing I know growing up as well is that what often happens is that the racism is inside, but it doesn't come out straight away. It's inside and it's always sat there. And a lot of the time it's been taught at home. Like sometimes we see these videos of people rioting and they've got their kid with them. Yeah. In the middle of riot, you know, you brought your 7-year-old.
to incite racial hate. Like, it's crazy to me. So that's why all of a sudden, like, when I'm in school and stuff like that, and one of my schools I went to in a predominantly white area, and it's kind of like, when you've now had a tussle with someone, instead of just being an idiot, you're now a black idiot. They have to include the black. Do you get what I'm trying to say? All of a sudden, and you're even shell shocked, like, raw. So this is how you've been feeling. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like that has always existed. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But one thing I will say as well is that during this period, it has always, and it always does, highlight the lack of backbone. Like, for example, there's people. There was a video that I saw of one guy like taunting the Asians, and then when the Asians caught him later, he started ratting out on his friends saying, no, it's those guys, and so on and so forth, basically. And I think it's really highlighted, which is a big problem in the UK, lack of education. Lack of education leads to ignorance as well. I think that there's so many people that have just really shown, like, it's the same thing that happened with Brexit as well. You interview people, you really realise that when you interview these people, they have no idea what's going on.
No.
So sad what happened with the 3 girls in Southport.
Yeah.
But there's so many Brits to this day that think that a Muslim did it.
Yeah.
They think that an Asian Muslim did it. These times it was a black Christian.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Born in Wales.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? And they're acting on false information, but it's just a fact that they don't care. But the last thing I'll end on this year is that one thing that we can't do, which I've seen a little bit on, is we can't praise white people for not being racist. Because you can't praise me for not being a murderer or a thief. I don't get praise for being a decent person. Yeah. And praising a white person for not being racist is me just praising you for being a decent person. That doesn't make sense. Oh, you don't agree with it? Go on, speak on it. You're looking like you don't agree.
No, I understand what you're saying. But also you have to think about herd mentality, right? So if you're in a group of people and you know that there's this rhetoric going around that these are against us, and so we should stand up and be against them, and you choose to not listen to that rhetoric and stand on your own and say, no, I'm not gonna be a racist. I think there is a level of decency and praise that you deserve for because sometimes you're going against your mum, you're going against your uncle, you're going against your dad, your uncle, your relatives.
So for me, that's really, really interesting. And I kind of hear what you're saying, but for me, that's when we're going into another issue whereby the bad is amplified. Yeah. Because like we mentioned before, the majority are actually not racist. Yeah. The vast majority are not racist. Yeah. When we look at the anti-fascist campaigns, the majority of people there are actually white. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So when there is a person that's like, yeah, I'm white and I'm not racist, it doesn't really deserve, you know what I'm trying to say? Because the majority aren't racist anyway.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but I feel like at the same time, I get why it can be difficult. So for example, let me flip it another way. So like, even like in this movement now where we're seeing women being pushed forward, right, to get the opportunities that they deserve. Like if you're a white man right now and you're used to being the CEO or getting opportunity, and all of a sudden now, I remember speaking to certain people even on TV and broadcasting that, saying that, they don't want me on television no more. I'm a middle-aged white man. If you're now saying, "Rah, I've got to take a back seat just because I'm a middle-aged white man," like, and you're saying, well, if it's for the better good, I'm gonna take this back seat, bro. That's a lot. Agree. And you deserve praise for, if that means that you're now saying, oh, I'm a CEO of a company, actually, I'm gonna step down and let a woman become a CEO instead of me, because I feel like that's the direction we need to go, and the example and what it's going to do for my daughters or my children to see this role model that comes from a different group being in this place. If you're putting yourself out of a place to put someone into a place, you deserve praise for doing that. Do you know what I mean? And you deserve encouragement for the fact that you're being selfless. You're not saying what's best for me, you're doing what's best for society.
I agree with that. I think that if you're sacrificing yourself, and the same thing could be said for a black person, for sacrificing yourself and saying that, you know what, typically you'll find that white males are hiding this position. I'm going to ensure that this position is preserved for a black woman. I think that you deserve praise, but I don't think that you deserve praise for saying, hey, I don't hate a black person based on their skin solely.
No,
I don't think so, innit?
No,
that's.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. But I definitely want people that are good and decent to be praised, because we don't do it enough.
In the spotlight, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when someone's bad, we're quick to say they're bad.
Yeah.
So someone being good even though we expect people to be good, we should still praise people for being good.
I hear
Do
it.
you know what I mean? Because it's like, actually, it's easy to be bad. We've seen it. It's easy to join a mob. If everyone's running out, all your mates are running out, and you're saying, you know what, actually, I don't agree with what you're saying or what you're doing. And like, because I remember, I'll give you an example. Like growing up in Tower Hamlets, like I said, Tower Hamlets is mainly Asian area. So when we had our car, twice our car was burnt out. We had
Seriously?
Yeah, my dad, there's two or three times when we've come home, they've dropped spat from the balcony down, because you got the door, you got to touch your key. So they've spat on my dad, landed on my dad's head. Some another time standing on his shoulder. They've thrown rubbish like downstairs as you're coming into your house. In your own block.
That's crazy.
In our block, it was us black, and then our next door was white. Then everybody else was Asian. Everybody else. We used to get phone calls. So phone calls to our house, you answer the phone, and they're telling you, come out the house. We need an Asian person in there. You need to come out. This was the experience, and obviously it was mainly from people from Bangladeshi background. So my dad grew pain towards people from that community. However, I'm going to school with people from that community, and so my experience is different because Abduls and Fayazuls and all them man there show me mad love.
Yeah.
Mad love on a daily basis. So although I understand from my dad's point of view that, what he was experiencing by the hands of these people was not right, I can also see that it's not all of them, because the ones I'm going to school with show man mad love, look after man, support man. Like if we're in arguments, like they were always back man. Do you know what I mean? And so forth. And there were sometimes I didn't even chill with a black lot. I would just chill with them lot. Do you know what I mean? And I'll never feel awkward. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, it's like I've always grown up like I will never have blame or hate for someone for something just because they come from the same community. That I always treat people at face value.
Yeah.
How you because I get it. Even in this position now where I'm on social media, people know me. You might have a beef with someone that I know. But listen, I'm not going to treat them any different unless I'm going to treat, because they haven't shown me that side.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So you're like, oh, no, this person did this. Bro, they've never done that to me. So I can't now start treating them different because they done that to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can be aware of what they're doing.
Of it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I'm always giving people like a chance on
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. You show me who you are. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's really important in this day and age.
Yeah, you make a good point as well. Like a lot of it is community based on your surroundings, and that's where you'll typically find that. Unfortunately, that when you find out into certain areas across the country, the experiences differ.
It's different.
They do differ.
Because growing up in Tower Hamlets, bruv, like white people are the minority. So like I've never experienced racism from a white person like proper in my life. But Tower Hamlets is a weird place.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those. It's just one of those areas where black. It's mad because especially being black, everyone acts black. So whatever we call black culture, that's if you're Asian, that's the culture for everybody.
That's the culture.
So everyone's poor. Do you understand? It doesn't matter black, white. Like everyone's coming from that hard background. Everyone's coming from estates. Everyone's growing up in the same environment, but white people are mainly the minority. So you go to class. So I never really experienced racism like that. And I never grew up seeing white people as the enemy or as someone that tried to put me down. So it wasn't until I've learned, like obviously we learned black history and stuff. But even when we learned history, like us man are laughing, like we're like, bro, we live in Tower Hamlets. Like even the white man is telling you like, right, things have changed. Like, do you know what I mean? So it wasn't until I've gone to the workplace that I've really understood, oh, this is racism.
Yeah.
Because it's when they have the power. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where things can change. So, yeah.
I guess this is the bread and butter podcast. So let's talk about careers and what it could be like experiencing that. Is there any time in your career or in the work that you do now where you've experienced that and what sort of impact it has on it?
Yeah.
Because I get questions about that as well myself.
Yeah, I have. But you go first because, I might mess the whole podcast up. I need to compose myself.
You need to gather yourself.
It's painful.
So for me, one time someone asked that, like, right, in the TV space, do you ever kind of like experience that? And I said that, do you know what? In the main, no. The reason being is that how television typically works is that there's an idea for a TV show, which I may or may not have been part of. And then there's casting for who's going to present the show.
Yeah.
And by the time I hear about it, I'm a strong contender.
Yeah.
So I'm basically the focal point at that point.
Exactly.
So you won't really experience any discrimination or anything at that point. What happens when you're filming and the show goes out after, sometimes there's a difference.
Oh.
People don't really get it, but like, it's not something that, I'm not trying to do woe is me, but as a black man on television, you will get DMs on Twitter from people that are unhappy that you're a black presenter on television. 40, 50, use the Queen's English, like just randomly. DMs, like people fuming. Oh, you're such a XYZ something. I don't want to go into a detail, but like a lot of people out there, and look, I'm just going to be crass and say that, it is the people like further up north and so on and so forth. And that's what we mentioned about community. But there are a lot of people that are unhappy about it. And I think that it's... And I would say that, let me give 2 examples. That's kind of like direct discrimination and they're unhappy that you're a black person on television. Some of them are just kind of that ignorance. And I'll give an example, So I'm on a shoot. There's sound guy, cameraman, and basically I'm the only one that could potentially be the presenter, basically. So they've asked the cameraman and stuff like that, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And then cameraman's answer, they were shooting for blah, 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 blah. They take long to ask me the question, innit? Not because I don't think that they're taking long for any particular reason, but then it's like, okay, so what do you do? Oh, so you part of these guys as well? Oh, yeah. So what do you do? I'm the presenter. Oh, the presenter? You're the presenter. And I don't think that's a discrimination thing. I'm not going to say that's anything that, but it's kind of like,
bias, unconscious bias.
Unconscious bias, basically. Yeah. It's like you wouldn't think that I was the presenter, but it's kind of like, why would that be the reason that you wouldn't think? And I don't think there's any malice in it, but like you say, unconscious bias. But I think that's kind of like where I experience it in this particular field. In the workplace, I would say that as a black male, I will go ahead and say that it's not as bad. You won't have it as bad as women in the main, basically. Yeah. I think as a black male as well, especially like us from Nigerian descent, you kind of come up, forget about racism, you come up trying to work 2 times as hard as everybody you come across anyway. Exactly. Does that make sense? Facts. So it's kind of like you're ready to boot down the door anyway. And I think that a lot of black women are like that as well. I think the thing that I've experienced with friends and wife and having relatives that are women as well is that they're not able to express their emotions without being judged for it. Because I've been in the workplace where women from other ethnicities, and not only white, other ethnicities as well, are able to express their emotions. And I just say to myself, if this was a black person, they'll say that she's been aggressive, over emotional, so on and so forth, basically, innit? So I think that for black women, there's a lot of that they've had to deal with and are still dealing with. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think in TV you get it a lot. So I get, obviously you have to understand, like, man's been the face of Barclays for the last 2 years. Yeah. So I get it, bro. In my DMs, like when Barclays was doing the ads and that, obviously they're boosting the ads to bare people. Yeah. So I'm getting it, number one, like, I'm tired of seeing these black leads. Imagine you're telling me, you're DMing me. Yeah. They'll go through they'll DM me to tell me I'm tired of them using a black lead for these ads just to be woke. This woke bank, I'll never use them. They're DMing me on a regular basis. These men have taken time to find me and DM me to tell me that they hate the fact Barclays is using me, and they're never gonna bank with this bank. It's crazy that that's your decision. That's why you're basing your decision to move bank. Forget the interest rates. Forget the. These times, all the other accounts are doing £200 for a switch. Current account switching service. You haven't moved because of that. Because now you see the email effect. That's why you want to move. It's mad. So there's that. Then obviously there's the war in Palestine. So Barclays have had a negative thing on that. I'm getting DMs on that as well. I can't believe you're working with the bank. You know what this bank is doing? Bro, do I control the bank, bro? Yeah, I'm just doing content to feed my family. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I've signed this, we weren't even talking about this. I've been over 2 years in Barclays. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? They weren't talking about it at this level. Even though things are going on, they weren't talking about it at this level.
Because we can't dispute that it's come to the public
Of
light
course.
for everybody in the last like 9 to 12 months.
Exactly.
Basically.
So I've been getting it for that. Do you know what I mean? And then so that's just doing content, doing ads. Then obviously, you know, when you do certain things on TV, or you go for certain roles or certain things, you'll see that they tell you, like when I first started, tell you, oh yeah, what they would say is they don't think you're the right fit. Now, I'm gonna say I'll never say names and stuff like that, but there's a certain show that man done that when my agent pitched them first, they said I wasn't the right fit. And then after George Floyd, they were booking me regularly. Do you understand? Man doesn't take it personal.
Yeah.
But man understands that when you're saying I'm not the right fit, you are trying to sell something on TV. So you want to give the audience what you think they want to see.
Yeah.
So we have to bear that in mind all the time. Like someone else that's not black, when they are not an ethnic minority, they just have to think about being their best version of themselves.
Yeah.
So if they didn't get it, it's not because of their accent or because of the color of their skin. It's because they just weren't the right fit for whatever they were trying to get out of that show.
Yeah.
I could be the perfect fit in regards to my talent, in regards to my personality, in regards to all of that. However, if the demographic that they're trying to get, they feel won't accept me because of my race, they won't put me in there. And that's why for me, it's like, I can't bank on my income coming from something that can be swayed.
Yeah, as easy as that. Yeah.
So I've got to use my own things to create my own income streams with the people who would want to work with me.
Yeah.
Now, again, one of the things I would say is that for me, as a financial advisor, since I've been on TV and stuff, the amount of white clients I now have is unexpected.
Yeah.
And it shows that there are people out there that they want it. I know there are people who are my clients now that just are trying to show that, actually, you know what? I relate to you. I see the struggle that you're going through. Yeah. I want to support.
Yeah.
So here's my money.
Yeah.
They're doing it with their feet, like action. Man, they're saying, "Rah, I've got 200K here. Manage it for me."
Yeah.
They could go to anyone. They got financial advisors that are in their family, that are relatives and all of that.
Yeah.
But they're choosing, no, you know what? I want to deal with you.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's why when I see certain things on TV, I'm like, we have to be very careful how we talk, because I know personally loads of white people like Anna Williamson, who, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Anna Williamson from Celebs Go Dating, she shows me so much love, gives me so much coaching. She's like my big sis. Do you understand? Sam, my old agent. Like, if you know how much me and Sam used to work together and do stuff, like, let alone, and when I tell you Sam, she used to bang down doors. Bro,
yeah, she active.
Sam used to bang down doors for me hard. And I know there was a period of time, like, I know there was a period of time where I wasn't even making Sam that much money, and I was probably taking 50% of her time. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Not forever. There's always peaks and troughs.
Yeah.
But there was a period of time where she had other clients that were making her
way more money with way less time.
With less time in them to focus on me.
Yeah.
Because she was just like, I'm not going to have it. This guy's amazing. You need to give him a chance.
Yeah. And
because of that effort, they gave me a chance. And then, bruv, the first TV stuff I used to do you know how often we used to practice? So I'd be like, you're going on this, look at this. She used to send me examples of people that had done stuff on those channels and what I should be looking out for and how I need to react. And if the worst happens or if this happens, this is someone this is not just work. This is, I see you and I want you to have an opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
No, facts.
And so when I look at people, I just know that I'm here today because a lot of white people decided that they see the talent, they like me, and they want to help. So we always have to be careful how we put it out there, like it's everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like all white people are Karens. No, that's definitely not the case.
It's definitely not the case. It's definitely the minority. And I think that, for me, it's funny because I just feel like those kind of things go without saying, because by virtue of anything that you're doing, mainly in the UK, you almost have to rely on the fact that, how do I put it? You have to rely on the fact that the people that you work with are fine, basically. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And fortunately for me, like I say, the people that I've never in television had an issue to date that I can recollect of anyone that I've had to work with. So that's from producers to production companies to soundies to whoever it may be. Everyone is mad blessed, got a great relationship. And relationships are so important. Commissioners, I get on with all of them. My thing has mainly just been the audience.
The audience, yeah.
Someone in the audience. But I guess what we're saying is all coming into, it's all marrying up. Because when you go to the audience, that's when you will find the minorities.
Of course.
And it goes back to what we said about the minorities, the baddest was blown up. So those are the ones that you're going to remember as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Bro, did I even tell you the time when I went on This Morning?
No.
Bro, so...
Oh, no, I think you told me. And they're looking at the books in the back or something like that.
Bruv, they've gone mad on me, bro. So imagine, like, gone on This Morning, Martin Lewis... I don't know what, I think Martin Lewis had said he was going to retire or he's going to stop, he's going to reduce it. So they put me on This Morning to cover his slot, you know, big opportunity, you know. So I've gone on there, I've done it. They've gone mad on me on Twitter. Mad on me on Twitter, bro. I've never wanted to punch up someone ever in my life, bro. Like, man's gone, because I remember there was they've gone to zoom in. And there was a picture of me and Mims, and obviously Mims is wearing heels. So when she wears heels, she's taller than me. Man, they're like, rah. Even if his missus is taller than him, they've gone on, man's got books on the bookshelf, but he's never read them. Man, like, this guy, like you said, there's certain pronunciations that, bro, they've gone mad on me. And that's when I didn't realize that much people watch This Morning.
Oh, yeah. Those ones there, a lot of people watch them. Good Morning Britain, This Morning.
What?
A lot of people watch them.
So they were passionate. So they was going absolutely crazy.
The UK is a funny one though, because you know, like sometimes with London pronunciations, they have an issue with it. But one thing I clocked about the UK in general, is that they don't have an issue with like Northerners. Accent and their pronunciation. Sometimes their words are completely different. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But one thing I did realize as well is that people, not only do they not have a problem with it, people almost prefer it.
Yeah.
And I just wonder where that comes from. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I'm even taking this away from a race thing. Yeah. Just in general, if you're a Northerner, I feel like you're going to get more love from the audience, basically.
Yeah, but I feel like I get it because sometimes, like, for example, like Steph's Packed Lunch, we both done that. There's just something about people from Yorkshire, like these men are just their energy's different, like
their energy's different still.
And even like Steph, this is what I'm trying to say. When Steph, she don't know me from nowhere. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Blessed. But Steph, I sent her my book. She's the only one that let me promote my book when my first book came out last year. That let me promote it on the show. All the others said I could mention it. I could mention that I've got a book, but she's the only one that's made. She was like, beginning of the book. I sent her a copy of the book. She read the book. She's like, "Wow, you grew up on a council estate. I grew up on a council estate." You see, after she read that, bro, I was going to Steph at lunch almost every week. Bro, they'll be calling me to go on the
Steph's thing. Actually good peeps, man. She's good, man. She is big up Steph McGovern.
Big up Steph, 100%. And that's someone that is in a position of power that is trying to really help.
Yeah,
like trying to really help. And the thing about Steph is that, let's be honest, Steph has got a business background.
Yeah,
she could do the personal finance section on her own.
Yeah.
But she purposely chooses to get someone else in to give somebody an opportunity.
Collaboration is key.
Do you understand? So I remember the first time I was nervous, I was trying to remember all the stuff. She's like, "Don't worry about all that because we're just gonna flow." Do you know a bit? I was like, then we'll just jump. From then, I stopped.
She's actually lit as well.
She's actually the littest. She's
she's cold.
She's like, just do us. Let's just do us. Because anything you forget, she's going to remember.
Yeah.
So we're just bouncing off one another live on camera.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's somebody in positions of power that want to give you opportunity. I remember when I used to work in a bank, 22. I'm the youngest. I'm black. I obviously I have a little bit of them times I used to have a little bit of a bop.
Yeah.
So I used to walk, because obviously, I don't know, there was just something about the way I walked. I used to walk with a bit of a bop. Yeah. These are things that people will be upset about.
Yeah.
So I've had to unlearn all this. But I remember I had a line manager, Richard Stead. I'll never forget him. Big up Richard. He used to help me so much understand corporate. Like to the point where I would send him my emails before my emails would go out.
Yeah.
He would proofread them. He would teach me how to take time to read them, construct sentences, make sure that everything, I'm not writing how I talk. Do you know what I mean? I'm writing in a language that the bank understands. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Not every line manager does that.
No,
do you
they
know what
don't.
I mean?
They don't.
He used to come to all my meetings, sit with me, make sure that. So now when I sit down and do a meeting now with a client, I still remember Richard in my head that used to sit beside. And sometimes I still see him in my mind, like sitting there, like, because he used to sit behind me in my meetings, and then at the end he'll just go through and tell me, do this, do that, don't forget this, don't forget that. And it's like, I am me because of people, because a lot of the steps I had to take, there wasn't anyone from my community to even assist me.
Yeah, facts.
So I'm only as great as people might say I am because of the time people from other communities have took to put in me.
Yeah.
And now that's why I'm so passionate about going back and putting it in others. Do you see what I'm saying?
And then just on that note, to the younger people listening, what Iman's saying is so true. And I'm sure you'll probably agree, like, in most corporate roles, it doesn't even matter the industry, like, knowing how to read, understand, and respond to emails is like 20% of your job.
On.
Even if you're stalling, know how to stall correctly.
Facts.
Know how to basically say, bro, basically what you're saying in the most corporate way possible is, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm going to need about 30 minutes to go and ask someone about how to get back to you. They're going to show you, what Iman had is someone that's going to show him how to say this in the most diplomatic way.
Come on.
You know what I'm trying to say? In the best way possible to make you look in the best light, because that's a lot of what it is, bro. Just relationships with people.
Imagine, so like, even like Richard, sometimes he would blind CC me in to emails that I shouldn't even be seeing.
Yeah.
Just so I could understand how you talk to a regional manager.
Yeah.
How you talk to a national manager. Bro, this is all learning. I'm telling you, I've gone from cashier. Like, people don't understand. I went from a level 1 cashier to a level 4 financial advisor. Level 4 is a higher level than some branch managers. Do you understand? Like, so I've gone to a higher level, so the expectation is different. I never had to send one email as a cashier.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now, all of a sudden, I've got to send emails to clients representing the bank.
Yeah.
I've got to send emails to other divisions, and I've got to and so his energy to do that. And then also, I had another guy called Shane. He's an older guy. So he's a financial advisor. He was the best in my team.
Yeah.
I used to follow him everywhere. Anything Shane went, Shane, any meetings you're having, I'm going. I used to go in, I used to sit down there and learn. These are people that take time. Other communities. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I feel like there are so much good people out there that we shouldn't allow this minority to make us feel like, there's a white and black or this and that. It's not there. It's not there. We saw it in Wolverhampton when everyone came out. It was every race that was on the street in Wolverhampton.
Exactly that. It's so true. I think that I'm gonna just jump in there and say that it's natural and it's obvious that Iman and I have a passion for helping young people pass it on to the next generation. So just gonna jump in there and say that if you're someone that works in recruitment and has spaces for young people, just send the Bread and Butter Pod a DM on Instagram letting us know. We'd like to pass that on to our network for the young people that want to get into roles. But I'll just go on to say that, so you've been schooled in the corporate world of how to kind of polish yourself.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Now you've gone and you're back working for yourself.
Yeah.
It's evident in what we both do that we are able to be ourselves. Like, for example, you wear a hoodie and so on and so forth to talks. It's like we're able to be ourselves, basically. But we have to balance that with the fact that we're also an expert.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Sometimes you go into something and it's like, am I going to go in and give a first impression, but then show you I'm normal? Or am I going to go in very, very raw, and then do I have enough time to show you that I'm the guy? It's like it's a balancing act, isn't it? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because if you've got a 1 hour talk and you've already been booked, you can pull up in a t-shirt and jeans, because you know by the time that you come off stage, these guys are going to say, no, he's a serious guy, innit? But sometimes you have to balance. It's funny because it's something that we often have to deal with, and it's funny that there's something that I always have in my head. Did you watch Billions?
Yeah.
Remember Billions? There's the guy, the main character from Billions.
Yeah.
He was in Homeland, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I always say to myself that he worked as, because I like to, let me go back, let me give you some context. I like to wear hoodies a lot. I don't know why. I like to cover the back of my neck. I don't know why. Comfort in it. So I never really wear jumpers. I've got to have a hoodie just in case I want to even roll it up and just cover the back of my neck for the breeze and that, in it. So I love to wear hoodies, in it. But sometimes I used to be like a little bit conscious, like, right, first impressions. And it's kind of like, so I used to love watching Billions, and so one thing when I first started doing TV is that, and I used to watch Billions before I started TV, I used to say, there's this guy in Billions, and he always wears a hoodie in it to the office, in it, And bear in mind, he's a multi-billionaire in the show. And I know it's a fictional show, innit?
Yeah.
But you take things from different
Yeah.
places, innit? And I used to say to myself that, how do I see him? Do I see him in any way because he's wearing a hoodie? And it's like, no, because the way that he carries himself in the hoodie is the main thing. So that was kind of like my decision when I'm meeting people. It's kind of like, I just wear what I want, because if you see me in a certain way because of what I'm wearing, and someone else can wear it, you don't see that in that way, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem, basically. But I mean, is there anything that you feel like you have to balance?
No, always, bro. But even like you said, now we're doing our own thing, but there's still like today I was running late. But I want to apologize because I understand that there's still a mentality that even though we're running for ourselves, like, we have to have a certain standard. There's certain things in corporate that you're not going to lie, but there's certain things in corporate that are standard because that's how business works. There's a reason why the company that's employing you has been there for hundreds of years, because there's certain principles that they keep to and standards that they have. And for me, there are certain things in corporate, as much as I didn't like corporate as working in that environment as much, it teaches you certain principles that you need to bring into your business, you need to bring into daily life. Do you know what I mean? How you communicate, network, how you treat people, how you deal with somebody being upset. So,
Absolutely.
So even like now, like I was talking in another episode, talking about people complaining about our services. How I deal with it is different from other people. Like some people are like, no, I'm not giving you a refund. Bro, if I offer a service, and even if I feel like I did a good service and you said, give me a refund, I'll give you a refund. We just never work together again. Do you know what I mean? But I've also learned from that experience to have certain screening and certain criteria in place for the right client. So you can't even get my service if I don't feel like you're going to be of a certain standard to avoid the disappointment. Because a lot of time, the disappointment, and you know, Francis, our podcast host, who if you need to book, please book, he spoke about this earlier. You're giving people quotes and they're acting like you're quoting them for a Lamborghini. But the reality is that because you don't understand the value of what we're bringing, it seems expensive. But because we worked in television and production, we know what the cost is just for one camera person. Bro, I remember I did a shoot, my first TV, just to take one picture on this special camera, they paid my man like 25K. For a picture. This is the picture that will go on billboards and stuff like that. He brought this old school bro, the cameras took like 1 hour to set up. That's how old this camera is. But the quality is great for when you want to blow it up into to other things. And so we understand the value of things. So sometimes it's like people don't understand the value, and so it seems like it's so much. So if someone needs a refund, I'm going to give you a refund, but we're not going to work together again. But that's now a lesson of I don't need that type of client.
Absolutely.
So that now makes me go back to my criteria and say, what do I need to change to make sure this type of person doesn't get in, so that we don't have this situation again. Whereas somebody else, they'll fight them, take me to court. Then all of a sudden, man's on social media.
I don't like all that stuff.
I'm not in it.
It's so funny because what you say is so true, because I said to someone recently, which is my kind of client. But I was literally just explaining to them that, you see, and I'll make it generic for everyone to understand. You see, when you're talking to a potential client about a product or service, it's your job to make them fully understand what the product or service offers and the potential outcomes. What I don't want to do, it's not my job to convince you to take it.
No.
You need to want to take it.
Because
when you convince people, you've convinced them in that period. Now when they've got the product or service, it doesn't suit their needs or it's not got the value. You need to understand that people understand the value and want to take it for themselves, basically. And that's how you bring on the right clients. People don't understand that the wrong clients is just not worth the time. And it's something that I learned from my older brother as well. It's like, bro, I'll not even give, like, even in a business deal, like, okay, cool. If I have to jump out now, I'm going to lose X amount of money. Let me lose the money and wash my hands. Because you see me, I don't, all of this messy stuff. I'm not part of it, bro. Keep the bread. All right, cool, no worries. We're never doing business again. Now, I'll say cool to you when I see you, but never again. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think it's just best for peace of mind, man. Good business practices as well.
But I think also, and this is another thing for business, know your service. The times that I've had the most complaints is when I'm speaking to somebody and I know I can help them, but I haven't got a product or service actually for what they want. Do you understand? So you're speaking to someone and like, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. And I'm like, I can help you do that. But I haven't got a product or service for them. But they want me to offer them a price to help them do X, Y, Z. And now you just made up a number. So now you haven't planned out what you're going to deliver, how you're going to make sure you meet the expectations. You're just trying to make money because you're hustling.
Yeah.
Bro, you're going to get found out.
yeah, it's not only you're gonna get found out, but you're gonna work way harder than you need to as well.
Exactly.
Because now what you're gonna end up doing is that you can't scale that. So now you've got, bro, you'll get to 7 and you'll hit capacity. 7 bespoke offerings, bespoke to 7 different clients.
Come on.
The money is not even going to be enough for whatever you quoted anyway, because it's so bespoke. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So one thing I'd advise people to do is just, if you haven't got the products in place at the time, just pass it on to someone else that does have a product.
Pass it, but also make a list. So what I do now is that someone will come to me and be like, for example, people being like, "Oh, Emmanuel, do you do mentorship?" Because I did mentorship one time. It worked, but it was a lot of energy for
Too bespoke.
too bespoke.
Yeah.
So then I left it. But then now when people come, I just add it to the list. So tell me, what if I did offer mentorship, what would you like?
Yeah.
I write it down.
Research.
And then I add it. If I get 10 people that tell me they want mentorship and I know I can offer it, then I'll now create the service and say, look, I'm offering mentorship because I know the demand is there, whatever. But if one person says to me, I want mentorship and nobody else talks about it, I'm not creating a service for this one person. That doesn't make no sense. Do you know what I mean? Because you create it, but because it's not scalable and because you don't really know what you're doing, you're just learning. And a lot of the time with the people that are asking for it, they want it, but it feels like you're quoting them for a Lambo. Like it's too much. It's too much for them.
Yeah.
Like even if you say £500, bro. I had a guy, and you see me. I had the other day, and sometimes I don't like to be too honest because people will try it. But the guy was like to me, I wanna have a 1-to-1 with me and my missus, and I was like, oh yeah, 1-to-1 it's $350. He's like, it's like over our budget. I was like, okay, I'll do £150 for a phone call. We can have a phone call. He's like, that's still above my budget. I said, so what's your budget? He said, £50 to £60. I said, you know what? I'll just give you a free 15-minute call. Don't worry. You don't even need to pay, man. Yeah. I just like your honesty. Like, I'd rather you just be honest.
Yeah.
Bro, you see me right now, if I got time, then we can have a call. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? If I ain't got time, then if you catch me when I'm busy, unfortunately I can't help. Do you know what I mean?
Very much so like that as well.
But we're not gonna do, like, do you understand? But it's important for you to have your price and put it out there, because I did another 1-to-1 with someone else for $350 and they were like, you know what? We want to pay you $600. Because it was like, we had so much value.
That's happened to you a few times, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, bare, bro. There's bare times.
You told me about that a few times.
Someone paid me $1,000. Like, someone else paid me $3,000 for $350. Because they're just like, you've just saved me thousands of pounds. And I wouldn't know how can I only pay this?
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, because I want you to have the money to go and do what I'm telling you to do, I don't want to charge you too much up front. Because I want you to use that to do whatever. You understand? So it's all about value and understanding it. But I'll say anyone that's in business, if you're offering a service, really, if this is your service and you attract someone that wants something similar to what you offer, but don't feel like you have to do it straight away. Like Brick said, you can pass on to someone else, or just take note of it and then see if anyone else asks for that. And see, is this something I should be adding? Then go and spend time creating the value that you're going to add and what that looks like, how many sessions, how much time, what you're going to do online, what they're going to get for their money, and then bring it out. Don't just because you've got this someone person saying, oh, I'll pay, because that person will end up in a complaint and you end up either having to refund them or they're cussing you online.
Facts, bro. All right, bro, let's get into your W or L, your W and your L of the week. What would you say your W and your L of the week is?
Listen, you know what? Things have gone really well in regards to speaking. So I've got some really big speaking gigs that have come up now.
Lit.
And like, I tell people, like, I remember when I was struggling, you know what I mean, to get people to pay me £200, £100 to speak. And now I've had, in the last few weeks, I've had like multiple bookings at 5K for a talk, 5K to host an event. And these are big corporate events.
Yeah.
And they're coming for me. Do you know what I mean? It's not a apply. It's, we've seen you, we want you, come. And it's like, I love that. Do you know what I mean? That's been a big W, because that's taken years. Yeah. Years to build on. But also I know I can deliver.
Yeah.
Because I've done a few at 5K. I did one at 10, whatever. Bro, the way they're thanking me, you would have thought that I did it for free. Because when you know you can deliver,
it's different.
You're going to outperform. And I work with them. That's a big thing as well. Always understand what the client wants. For me, I know what the client wants because I've worked with them the whole way to plan what the client wants.
Yeah.
So while I'm talking to them about what they want, I'm already thinking about what can I do above what they want.
Yeah.
How can I deliver above what they're going to ask for? So when we do it, it's like, we want to book you again. And so that's been the big W's for me, is that now that's a consistent, every every month I'm getting one or two over 5K plus bookings. So then you know that certain things is sorted out, bro. Do you know what I mean? You're not just running chasing your tail. I just need to stop making it in this tax environment that they call the UK, so I can see more of it.
Yeah, facts.
L, what's been an L? You know what? It's funny. Like, I don't feel like I've had an L, but I've definitely, in sense of a loss, like, because right now life is really good. But I would say one thing that I've definitely learned is, you don't know it all, and the importance of contracts.
Yeah.
Because like, I've been in business a long time. I've worked in corporates. I've been a part of so many different big deals that have gone on that you think you understand contracts and business and how things are working. But when you're working with other people, there are so many different things people are trying to bring. So it's so important to really make sure that, you know, you really spend time on the contract. For the first time, like this deal that I'm doing now, this is the first time I ever spent over a month on a contract. Because normally the people I'm working with, it's like, boom, 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 do it and we go.
Yeah.
Bro, this one's back and forth, back and forth. And I'm just like, rah. Do you know what I mean? This is a lot. But I get it, because I'd rather spend this time on a contract and argue now than the worst case scenario happens and we never thought about it.
Yeah.
Or we don't have nothing in place for it.
Of course.
So I've definitely had to learn about the importance of just spending time on contracts, and you can't really just trust people as they are. Absolutely. Even though you're working with people and you're hoping for the best, it's always really important to prepare for the worst.
Yeah. Facts. No, that's good, man.
What about you?
My L for the week, just admin, bro. You know when you've got like just actual stuff to do?
Yeah.
And then just bare admin as well. Like, bro, I've got an energy company that's doing my nothing.
Wow.
Just bare little stuff like that. But, bro, we thank God anyway, man. Things are good. W of the week, this week I became an uncle.
Oh, congratulations.
That's it, man. We thank God. God is good. So, yeah, man, happy about that. Something that we've been highly anticipating for a long time. So, yeah man, definitely my W of the week, W of the month, W of the year. So,
I hear you.
Yeah, man. That's been the Bread and Butter podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Listen, we're on a subscriber run.
Yeah, man.
Everything's going well, but we just need the subscribers. You guys, this is your second video watching it. Just your second time watching us. Just check, are you subscribed? Then also make sure you like as well. One thing I clocked is that a lot of people think when they're watching on the telly, they can't like. You can like when you're watching on the telly. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You just got to go up and then click the like button. So, yeah, guys, make sure that you like.
Yeah, also, I think it's important that even if you're listening to us on a podcast, go onto YouTube and just subscribe. Like and subscribe on the YouTube. So you might not even really watch YouTube. You might be more of a podcast person and listen on Spotify or Apple or whatever. But go onto YouTube and listen in and like on the YouTube and subscribe on the YouTube to help those numbers up.
Exactly, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.
Blessings.